Good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Thursday, November 3rd, 2022. And our top story today, common misconceptions about 529 college savings plans. And joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Rachel Biar is the Assistant State Treasurer for the state of Nebraska. She's also the Director of the 529 Nest Savings Plan. And lastly, she is the chair of the College Savings Plan Network. Well, Rachel, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you. It's certainly a pleasure to be here today.
And we're talking, and it's great to have you. We love when we get members of the treasurer community. It's a small community of only, 50 states, maybe some territories, but you all do some great work. Among the things that many treasurers like yourself work on is the 529 plan. I know you have a lot of responsibilities outside of that, but let's talk about 529. And I think a lot of people have some misconceptions about the 529 plan. First of all, who can invest in the 529? Can I do it? Do I have to have children? Who can invest in the 529?
So that is a great question, and you're right. There are a lot of questions around 529 savings plans, and sometimes people do think that, they can't invest in a 529. And literally, 529s have been set up to be so extremely flexible that anyone can invest in a 529 account. So it could be the parent of a child that they're saving for higher education. It could be a grandparent. In my case, I'm an aunt and I save for my niece and my two nephews. So it could be aunts, uncles, friends. You could save for your loved ones if they're good friends of yours and you don't have children of your own, or even if you have children of your own, you can still save for anyone. We do have people also opening accounts for themselves. And so given the economy that we're in currently, there are a lot of adult learners going back to further their education. They can open an account for themselves and also name themselves a beneficiary and also save in a 529 to take advantage of those tax benefits. So literally anyone can open a 529 account as long as they have a U.S. Resident and have a taxpayer ID number, social security number. They can open an account.
And they can pick the 529 plan of their choice, right? You can pick Nebraska, you can pick Virginia, you can pick any of the panoply, the plethora of 529 plans out there.
Certainly can. So a lot of the 529 plans, most all of them are national plans, meaning they can be opened in any state. But it is always a good thing, and we do always advise you should check with your home state plan first before looking at other states' plans, because your home state may offer you some additional state tax benefits, such as a state tax deduction or a state tax credit. And so you definitely should check out your home state plan first for those extra state tax benefits. The federal benefits are uniform across the board, but those state tax benefits can be an extra benefit that you might be missing out on if you use another state's plan. But there are options in other states that might be more appealing to you based on your investment selection that you prefer, or just based on some fees that might be involved in the plan. So there are a lot of people who use plans not in their own state, but you should definitely check your own state first.
So like any other investment or plan, you need to do a little bit of research to make sure what you pick really works for you. All right, here's another misconception I want to ask you about, Rachel. You have to use the money for a 4-year college. Do you or do you not?
So you do not have to use your 529 account for a traditional 4-year college. You can use it for a 2-year degree, an 18-month program. They're extremely flexible. The key is it has to be at an accredited institution, and you can easily find that information on the U.S. Department of Education's website to see if that particular school is accredited. But it can be used for any higher education expense. Again, 2-year college, 4-year program, master's degree, professional graduate program. It can also be used for apprenticeship. So as long as it's an approved apprenticeship, you can also use your 529 account for apprenticeships. That was just recently changed, and we appreciate that change because there are a lot of doors opening for the trades, and there are a lot of apprenticeship programs that qualify for 529 as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I know if you want to be an iron worker, you want to be a carpenter, be part of those organizations, those trades, this is an opportunity to do that. So this is not just for sitting in the classroom at a 2-year or a 4-year school.
Absolutely not. Again, it could be a vocational technical school. And again, certain apprenticeship programs do qualify. So there are a lot of options, a lot of great flexibility with a 529 account.
Let me ask you a question before we go to commercial break, and I promise this is the last question for this segment. I have so many, as you're talking, I should say, I've got so many questions that pop into my head. But is there a time limit that, let's just say that I'm contributing for my niece or a friend's child? Is there a time limit? They turn 18, 19, 20. Do they have to use it by a certain date, and does it spoil? And if it does spoil, what happens to the funds?
Sure. So there are, the majority of plans do not have a time limit. So there is no age of beneficiary where they age out and the funds have to be used. Most state plans, there's no age requirements. So the money can sit there. If, let's say, the money is there for a long time, let's say the beneficiary maybe perhaps, hasn't started their higher education journey yet, or they choose maybe not to go to a institution beyond a 12th grade and they choose to join the workforce instead. There are a lot of options with a 529 account, so you can change the beneficiary to a member of the family, and that list is quite extensive. So it goes all the way from first cousins to siblings to, again, other spouses, step siblings of those, parents, any of those, aunts, uncles, niece, nephews, they can all use that 529 account. We also find that sometimes the money will stay there because they'll leave it there for future grandchildren. So let's say that individual beneficiary doesn't use the money, it can stay there, and then the beneficiary could be changed again to their children, and then a grandchild perhaps could use the funds. So if in the event you cannot find anyone to use the 529, which does happen from time to time, but not often, you can withdraw the funds. It would be a non-qualified withdrawal, and then that would incur some tax penalties on that non-qualified withdrawal on the earnings portion.
Well, Rachel, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about misconceptions, try to clear things up. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning to Rachel Biar. She's the Assistant State Treasurer for the state of Nebraska. Well, Rachel, thanks so much for sticking with us this morning for segment number 2. Really appreciate having you on the program this morning.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk about 529 savings plans. So happy to be here.
And we're breaking down the misconceptions here. And let me ask you, there's a lot going on with the stock market, market volatility, economics. People have a little bit of fear right now, although we've had maybe some positivity in the market. But do 529 plans have too much risk? So if I invest, am I going to lose all my money when something like this happens with the market? It goes down and then I need access to the money?
So it is a very difficult time right now where folks are finding it difficult to even save. They're worried about their retirement planning and also their higher education, college savings planning. So what I will say about college savings is that there are a lot of plans that offer an FDIC insured option. So that money is very safe. You can still contribute that money into an FDIC insured option. You'll get all the state tax benefits that your state offers and the federal tax benefits of deferred growth. And you will be able to be secure in knowing that the money is there. 529s also been developed over the years to offer a variety and a large investment option selection. So individuals can customize their investment options based on their needs. If you have a beneficiary that's younger, maybe you have a newborn, and I always recommend opening an account for newborns because your time horizon is so much longer to invest. So if you have a newborn, you have a much longer time horizon than you do if you have a high schooler right now and you are thinking about how you're going to pay for college the next year, or maybe you have a college student right now. So I would advise that there is just a really good opportunity to look at your investments available in your plan and look at the options you have, again, from the conservative choices to perhaps the more aggressive choices when you have a longer time horizon.
And there are people, Rachel, that can assist. There are financial advisors. Some of the plans have people associated that can educate and help you towards that decision.
Most certainly. There are a lot of advisors sold 529 plans throughout the country, and we appreciate our financial advisors for the expertise that they give to their clients, and particularly around saving for higher education. So most definitely always check with a financial advisor if you're unsure how to proceed.
Is there a bad time to save in a 529 plan? Like if people are watching the market, and I think you kind of just answered the question, but I just want to circle back because someone will be saying, look, now's not a good time to invest. And we get the same question all the time on the 401k retirement side. But is there ever a bad time to put money away? And you said starting when the child's born, you take advantage of the time. But are there ever any bad times to invest in the 529?
Again, I don't believe there's ever a bad time to invest in a 529, particularly, again, if it is currently with a college student that you have now. You do have that advantage of the FDIC insured option, and you can still take advantage of those state tax deductions, state tax credits. That's money back in your pocket that you can reinvest into a 529. And again, if you have a longer time horizon, you certainly have enough time for history shows us that the market corrects. And so you will have time for that to grow. As we say, right now the market is difficult. So you're buying your units, and we call them units in the 529 world. You're buying those units at a lower cost. And so when the market rebounds, in theory, you would then have more that you would be saving because you would benefit from those lower cost units you're buying now or purchasing now in your plan. So I would say it's never a bad time to invest in a 529.
Yeah, 3 words we use in the retirement space: dollar cost averaging. And you're right, over time, The markets tend to do that. All right, last question. There may be some people out there saying or wondering if they're applying for financial aid, is this going to ruin, if you got all this nest eggs set up in a 529 plan allocated to a child or children, is it going to impact the ability to get financial aid and possibly a scholarship?
So that is always a very good question, and we do get asked that question quite often because folks are worried about the impact that financial aid will have. And so when you're looking at financial aid, a parent-owned 529 is treated more favorably than a student-owned asset. So the impact is really quite minimal. It's only a 5.64% impact on a parent-owned 529 account. So if you're looking at, that percentage, it's very minimal and not compared to the 20% of a student asset. So students owning an asset is a much higher inclusion in that expected family contribution on a financial aid application. So I would say that it is not a big enough impact for a parent-owned account. And the other thing I would say is if you have grandparents investing in a 529 or myself, an aunt investing in my niece and nephew's 529, that impact is not considered an impact on the financial aid until after that withdrawal is made and the beneficiary receives that withdrawal, and then it is considered a completed gift. So then it is impacted then. So a lot of times, at least under the current FAFSA rules, I would recommend if you have a grandparent-owned account or someone else owns the account, you can use that 529 money perhaps in their junior or senior or latter years or the later part of their educational journey, and it won't have an impact on their application for FAFSA and financial aid. And again, the impact is very minimal. I would never advise to anyone to not invest in 529 based on a 5.64% inclusion.
Rachel, last question. You mentioned the Department of Education website. Where else can you get general information such as what we're talking about? Because we don't have time to talk about every possible misconception, and this may pique other people's interest. Where can they go to find all the rules, all the information, to do the due diligence on all the different 529 plans and rules? So
the best place to go, you can certainly, again, check with your home state always first. But then if that doesn't work, what is really good resource, it would be our College Savings Plans Network website, which is collegesavings.org. And again, that's collegesavings.org. I would highly recommend checking that out. You can go to all of the plans on that website, and you can check out all of the different features of each of the plans, and you'll see their investment choices, and it'll take you to those plans. So we also have good information on our website about data and also some misconceptions and different blog posts where experts in the 529 industry talk about what you should be looking for in a 529 plan.
Yeah, really great information. Got to do your due diligence anytime you buy something. If you're buying a refrigerator, you're buying a vacuum, or you're investing in a 529 plan. Rachel, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's always a great day to save with a 529.
That wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to? Drop us a line, and don't forget, for all the latest curated news and lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more, and all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content? Well, visit our website, and of course, all of our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.